What's the Best Costume? By Allie. Narrated by Kitty Jones. You're invited to a party for all beautiful kids, every day, anytime, at Allie's Cookie Factory. Allie is a little kitty cat who cooks and wears a chef's hat. What she loves most is baking. Can you guess what she's making? She shapes dough into balls, stars, or squares. She decorates her cookies with faces or bears. Allie's smiley face cookies are the best. They taste better than all the rest. All Allie's neighbors love her cookies' sweet crunch. They eat them with breakfast or dinner or lunch. Each cookie is baked with love and a smile, which makes their hearts happy for a really long while. One day, Allie got a letter she couldn't believe. The letter read, "Come to my house New Year's Eve. Wear a costume your favorite animal disguise. The best costume of all will win the grand prize. Sincerely, Mayor Horse." All the animals were feeling festive through and through, except Allie, who was feeling blue. She thought, the monkey swings through trees. The giraffe is so slim, and she has such pretty knees. The sheep looks so nice with her curly white hair. But what costume will I wear? On the night of the New Year's Eve party, there was a huge crowd. The animals were happy and the music was loud. Allie looked in the mirror and she let out a sigh. She knew what she should wear and wanted to give it a try. Allie looked for a seat in the very back row, next to Mr. Elephant, Miss Deer, and Miss Hippo. Allie saw her beautiful friends and turned to Miss Deer. "Miss Deer, why on earth are you hiding back here?" "I have these ugly horns, so I can't wear a hat," Miss Deer said. "And my trunk is too long," cried a sad Mr. Elephant, shaking his head. "I have a big mouth which I can't cover up," said Miss Hippo in tears. Allie said, "I used to feel that way too, but look here. Be yourselves. You have nothing to fear." Then everyone cheered when Mayor Horse took to the stage. "Guess the first costume," he said as he read from a page. "The poster showed you the first costume of the night." The crowd thought hard and then shouted, "Stripes, black and white!" "Zebras! But which animals dressed up as zebras?" The crowd was in shock. The spotlight flickered on a fuzzy sheep-zebra flock. Everyone asked, "Do the sheeps look like zebras?" "No way," the real zebras said very fast. "Our stripes help us blend into tall, wavy grass. So our coats keep us safe and protect us from harm." "So do ours," said the sheep. "Our curls keep us warm." "Who will be next?" asked Mayor Horse with a smile. The crowd saw the poster and cried, "The action star, Mr. Crocodile." Someone walked on stage in a crocodile costume, pretending to have his fame. The spotlight flickered on, and everyone shouted, "Are he and Mr. Crocodile the same?" Mr. Crocodile scoffed, "A rhinoceros? No, we are not like each other." "Are you sure?" asked the rhino. "We both have thick armor." "Real crocodiles have far tougher armor," said the croc with a groan. "It's not only sensitive to cold and heat, but some parts are hard as bone." Then Mayor Horse interrupted, "Who is next up to dance?" All the animals shouted, "The model, Miss Giraffe." The crowd tried to see through the darkness. "Who is it?" they asked. "Whose humps are those?" The spotlight flickered on. "The dizzy camel," they laughed. The camel, wearing fancy brown patches, got back up on her feet. She said,
"The giraffe's body is special and stays cool in the heat. Just like me, she does not have to sweat to stay cool."
"But I don't have two humps," the real giraffe ruled.
"Who is that making faces?"
the mayor then said.
"It looks like the comedian Mr. Hedgehog is curled up for bed. Silly Mr. Hedgehog rolls into a ball when he sleeps."
The crowd shouted, "He is much funnier than the giraffe, rhino, or sheep." But who dressed up as the hedgehog no one could see. Then the spotlight flickered on. "Spines, spines, spines." And a teeny tiny voice squeaked,
"It is me!"
"Is that a mouse on a bicycle?" all the animals cried. "That costume makes no sense."
The mouse wanted to hide and said,
"Our stiff hairs are similar to the spines of yours."
The real hedgehog spoke.
"I don't think he should win. See, I've the prickliest coat, but the mouse has thin skin."
Mayor Horse came back up.
"What's that chatter?"
he asked.
"It must be Mr. Parrot,"
the crowd guessed.
"He's talking so fast."
But who could be wearing Mr. Parrot's disguise? The spotlight flickered on. It was Mrs. Parrot, to everyone's surprise.
"She's a parrot for sure, but..."
"Does she look like a male?"
Mr. Parrot said.
"No, unique from our beak to our tail. My feathers are rich green and red, not the same. As Mrs. Parrot's red and purple, we share only our name."
Mayor Horse asked,
"Who's singing on stage? What a lovely sound!"
The crowd shouted, "Miss Frog loves to sing." They all turned around.
"Guess who dressed up as Miss Frog?"
Mayor Horse asked. The spotlight flickered on. Mr. Frog, who was all green but wore a red vest. The green frog crooned,
"My green color helps me to hide under the leaves, and I think my red vest looks stunning. But my dress is not cute, it's actually cunning. The red is a warning because we are poisonous too."
Miss Frog chimed in with, "This green frog's got no clue."
"Who's next up on stage?"
Mayor Horse finally asked. The crowd answered,
"It's Allie!"
"She must be the last." Who dressed up as the Chef Kitty? The spotlight flickered on. Allie walked nimbly along Elephant's trunk. Then she jumped on the stage with a plunk and a plunk. The kitty chef stood on stage dressed as herself, looking proud, and threw smiley face cookies out into the crowd. Why do we want to copy each other to win? Our most perfect costume is our very own skin. Each animal has their own color and look. Not to mention our hobbies, I love to cook. Each cat's coat is different to match where we live. So before you try changing, see what you've got to give." The smiley face cookies flew over the crowd. The animals caught them and started cheering out loud. They agreed with what Allie said, and they added with a smile, "We all win the contest
because we have our very own style."
"No one can copy my trunk."
The elephant smiled and lifted Allie onto his back with his trunk.
"And these are my antlers,"
the deer said with some spunk. The hippo roared,
"No one can have a huge mouth like I do,"
as everyone cheered along too. So what's your best costume, girls and boys? Come on, stand up proud and make a big noise. Put on your smile and wear your best you. You are your best costume. You, just you. The end. The facts of the wildcat's coat and Spiny Mouse's skin. The color and pattern of a wildcat's coat usually matches where it lives. For example, the wildcats with spotted or patterned coats generally live in the forests and spend a lot of their time in the trees. The wildcats with plain and solid-colored coats usually spend more time in the dry places with low-lying grass. Wildcats' coats let them blend into their environment. This helps protect them from predators. The spiny mouse's coat is covered with stiff hairs rather like those of a hedgehog. This is where the name comes from for the spiny mouse. Some species of the African spiny mouse can escape from predators by shedding their skin. The spiny mouse will grow new skin over any wounds within several days. What's the Best Costume? By Yan Lee. Narrated by Kitty Jones.